Hello everyone, Crypto Lemon speaking. Welcome to the Daily Crypto News Show. Today is December 10th. We are Thursday and we are going to cover a lot of regulatory news and information concerning stablecoins, the regulator and other, let's say, more structural kind of play, not any pump and dump to be talked about. So let's get to it. We're gonna first talk about the market wrap as usual, with Bitcoin still consolidating around, let's say, 18 to 18.2K. We're gonna talk about Circle CEO, donc the guy, one of the two company behind USDC that just sent a letter to the US government. We're gonna talk about the banks that honestly I did not even know existed that launched Euro stablecoin with Stellar. We're gonna also finally talk about Paxos that applied for national bank charter, and we're gonna talk about the evolving, let's say, regulatory landscape in the US before the new administration takes office. So let's get to it, guys. So as I said, crypto market cap is around $550 billion. Bitcoin at a bit close to 18.3K. We have Ethereum just under $560. But the different news we have today are mostly around the consolidation, the fact that a lot of people are now saying that we could be consolidating for a while, even going back to 16K, the same people that told you we'll go to 30K straight, by the way. So what's interesting are the volumes on exchange have been trending back up for the past 2 days, but they're kind of low compared to when we were in the bull run, but there's nothing to worry about on that side. We have less BTC perpetual swaps funding, sorry. Basically, less people are leveraged longs. Maybe some were liquidated lately, but it also means that some people are also buying puts. If you remember a few weeks back, I was saying that I was surprised that nobody was covering themselves for a drop. And then a week ago, we started seeing, let's say, institutional investor covering themselves in case of a drop, and the drop happened. Is it over? I have no idea. If you want to know something about the direction of the market, you have plenty of technical analysis kind of bullshit going on YouTube, so you can just go look at it. So another thing interesting is DeFi. With the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum going down, of course, the total value locked in USD went down. But also in terms of Ether or Bitcoin, it's been kind of stable for the past 2 weeks, which is quite good if you ask me. With everything going on, the fact that we managed to have a stable base of investors willing to keep their coins in DeFi despite the um, run of some assets is quite interesting, and it actually is a good sign if you ask me for the future. So we had Circle CEO Penn's letter to US government. So he's just basically saying it's all 1996 again when the internet came up. You cannot regulate too harshly on this innovative space and actors. So of course this has been what we've been saying to the regulators for a while, but I agree with it. But he kind of mentioned something interesting, basically, especially concerning the US politician, is that if you regulate us too harshly, China is just going to get a hate that will be impossible to catch up. So this, I believe, could make them react. And so this circle is behind the USDC coin, stable coin, one that is actually legal in the US and backed by a real USD. It is worth, I think, something like 3 billion, yeah, backed by over $3 billion, and more than $250 billion have been exchanged with this stablecoin since inception. So it's basically saying that also the KYC for his stablecoin, at least, is better than the one done by banks, and so therefore they should not uh, be against crypto in general, but mostly stablecoins, and they should not prevent this space to innovate. So this is interesting, and I think they will push them further and further. So we have a small news, actually smaller than what it seems, but it's a bank called. So that's why I was telling you I don't know about it. It's called Bankhaus von der Reit. Germany has a lot of small or regional banks. So they launched the first Euro stablecoin with the help of Stellar and Bitbond. So this is also backed completely by the bank. Actually, they have €1 for every digital euro that they uh, put on the market. What they're just saying is that a lot of banks and other institution customers or companies will feel more secure using these stable coins in euro if they were backed by a bank and therefore submitted to the banking law in Europe. So this is the point, but I believe it's still good. It just shows that banks are just eager to come in, and when the regulation will be truly out, you can bet that all the banks will have digital euros or whatever euro that will be launched. Another thing about regulation, and I know it's boring, but it's important for the space that we get more professional and that we also have regulations, of course, to protect, let's say, less technology or investment-wise people. So Paxos, which has a stablecoin, um, and is also working with Binance on the BUSD. They applied for federal bank charter, so they already had a charter, but not a US national trust bank charter, and therefore this will allow them to go in a lot of states and make things easier on a state level, and also to be more backed, of course, if anything were to happen. Because at the moment, the other companies that had a bank charter in the US were Kraken and Kraken and Avanti Financial, and both had Wyoming state charters to act as special purpose depository institutions. So it was like just kind of a way to trick the system, but this just makes it more easier for companies. And we've already seen other ones apply for the same thing. It was, I believe, BitPay, yeah. BitPay that did exactly the same thing and is also waiting. We have also Anchorage, and this happened after let's say Brian Brooks kind of cheered up all this institution to apply, and is acting as a controller of the currency. And he was before a former Coinbase executive, so all these companies think they have somebody to talk to and to explain their issues at the moment, somebody that will understand actually the issues they're facing, because it's a former Coinbase executive. So this is all for today. A lot of boring news.